But I mentioned in my last video about how essential it is to keep a schedule. Now, typically, if you have a baby that's newborn, like a few weeks to 4 months, they may go through a growth spurt during that time. So you may not necessarily be able to track like the ounces that they're drinking, but at least you can track the feedings and when you're pumping. So I mentioned that I'm going out of town next week and I want to make sure I have enough milk storage here for dad. Now listen, if you are a mom that's just producing just enough milk and you are like going out of town or going to be away from baby, definitely check out my video and my short about a substitute formula that's close to breast milk that you can actually use that will not upset your baby's stomach and not interfere with your breastfeeding. That formula, I have used it with my last two babies and it has been absolutely amazing. And last two babies, I mean, including this baby as well. So I'm going to also post a video later when I return back from out of town on how everything went with the transition of me going out of town postpartum for the first time on a girls trip without the baby. And so I just want to show you my process and what I'm doing right now to pump enough milk and also track her feedings. This simple planner, and it took me a while because I'm a planner at heart to look through to see what would be a good planner for me as a mom that's postpartum. I needed something simple, but that was going to also keep me on track. So I purchased this planner off of Amazon. I'm going to start with the clean page. So typically what I do is on my to-do list, I make sure that I write on there to administer vitamin D. If you are a breastfed mom, you know that it's essential that we administer the vitamin D. These are the drops. You can get the organic or the regular. And you just put that at the top of the nipple, or you can put it on a pacifier. Of course, the instructions are on here. But sometimes I tend to forget when I'm feeding, especially if I'm latching. So I do put that on my to-do list. Also on the schedule. So typically she's up as early as 4:30 a.m. So usually I'll just cross that out, but I would just mark fed if I latched, or if I pump, I would just put here pump and how long I pump. So typically I pump in the morning from 25 to 30 minutes, may just have to be 25 because I get a lot of milk in the morning. Mornings are the best time to really pump. That's when you're going to get the most milk. So the earlier the better. So then I'll check it off. And what has really helped me, I've been pumping every 3 hours. So I'll go ahead and write down the next hour, which would be, let's say 6 a.m. So we would do 9 a.m. And then I'll put here pump or latch. And then I'll check that off as I go and continue to the end of the day. So typically I'll try to latch about 2 times and then pump at least 6 times throughout the day, because your milk production is going to go down throughout the day. You're going to get milk, but you're not going to get as much as in the morning. So these from anywhere from 3 a.m. to 11 a.m., you're going to get the most milk. So I would say at least try to pump twice within those hours. Even if you're latching, you can actually pump 30 minutes after you latch. So if I latch, I'll wait 30 minutes and then I'll pump both boobs. So that has truly helped me. And then as you can see, there are other things on here if you want to track your meals or any notes you want to put in here. Like if you want to note wet diapers, if they had a bowel, if they didn't have a bowel, if they had any reaction to the milk or whatever. So this is basically how I track the feedings. Like I said, as a new mom, between the first few weeks and months, your baby may go through a growth spurt. So within that time, you may not necessarily be able to track what they're eating. Like my baby, she's 4 months, so she's up to 4.5 to 5 ounces. So I know typically that's what she's gonna feed on. But if anything changes, you can note it here, or you can just write it in there somewhere. So this daily planner has truly helped me, especially when it comes to tracking. I was trying to look at the brand. When it comes to tracking my schedule. And then of course, doctor appointments and everything like that, this is really good for as well. So simple, straight to the point, but will definitely keep you on track as a postpartum mom. Or even if you're in your perinatal journey, you can kind of track here as well.